So, welcome to Talking Timber podcast with me, Mike Jeffrey.
And me, Keith Fryer.
And Talking Timber, we talk about the range of news, issues and technical developments in the industry. And you can listen to previous editions by going to our website, www.talkingtimber.co.uk, and you can also find us on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah, don't forget YouTube.
No, important. So today we've got another fascinating topic, and it's developments in protective, moisture-resisting, performance-enhancing overlays for timber, and more specifically, these overlays made by US producer Arclin using its patented Arctech technology.
Yeah, I've been rather looking forward to this one because, technology's moving on. I'm going to be interested to hear what these people have got to say about all of this. So, looking forward to it. And I'm really interested to hear more about Arctech Dryshell, the Arclin overlay used with OSB in timber frame construction.
Yeah, they say it both speeds up and de-skills timber frame building by replacing use of traditional site-fixed protective breathable membranes.
And so our guests today are Brian Adams, Senior Director, Sales and Business Development at Arclin, and also Paul Worsley, Global Account Manager.
Yeah, and that's quite a thing for us as well. So Brian's over in the States, I believe, and we'll find out from him whereabouts in the States he is. And then Paul's in the UK, I guess. So this is a truly international little podcast.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
And so, Brian and Paul, can you just kind of give us a sort of thumbnail sketch of who Arclin are, and also then perhaps give us a layperson's explanation of what Arctech technology is and what it brings to the product?
Sure, guys. I'm glad to fill in on this, and thanks for having us. I appreciate the opportunity. Arclin functions as a global leader in material science. We specialize in polymer technology and engineered products for a diverse group of industries, from construction to agriculture to electronics and weather protection. The Engineered Building Solutions division that we work in, the EBS, is home to the Arctech product line. The Arctech product line for you guys, it covers baton, it covers guard, and it covers Dryshell. So it covers the three main topics of items we'd like to talk about today.
Right, yeah. And as I understand it, the Arctech overlay material is I hope this is getting it right, is thermally fused to the timber product. Is that correct? Is that how it works?
Correct. But we offer both. We offer both thermally fused, and there's also a cold press application. But they're for varying applications. Depending on what your end use application is, we can engineer a product to fit and maximize performance for your given industry.
Yeah. And whereabouts in the States are you based for that sort of? Where are you calling from?
Sure, I'm actually calling in from Northeast Ohio. I'm about 20 miles off the PA border, and I'm about 45 miles off of Lake Erie. So I'm in the Northeast.
Yeah.
As a company, our headquarters is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
But given the geographic the expanse that we cover, I'm not in the office, and I've got Paul there in the UK. We've got a guy in Eastern Europe. We've got guys covering South America and guys covering Southeast Asia. So we've got a very, very broad footprint for the EBS division.
Yeah, it sounds quite like that. And is the American market, the US market, still your major market, or is it very, very
Absolutely.
global? Yeah. And then
absolutely, yeah. Arclin historically has been U.S. based. They hired me a couple of years ago with the intent to. We've always had a global footprint, but to take what we do domestically and apply it on an international scale.
Mm. Yeah. And how long has Arclin been going? When was it established?
Well, let's see. I first was with the company in 1998, so it was definitely prior to that. So long time in North America.
Yeah.
And that means, therefore, the products that you are constantly developing, but more importantly, the products we're going to talk about today are well-established products. They're very tried and tested.
Absolutely, yeah. The products have been used in North America for more than 3 decades. And we're here to talk about applying the science that we take in North America and the building applications, and talking about how it applies to the UK market. So it's an exciting opportunity.
Yeah.
the overlay product, is it used to protect and enhance the performance of the timber? Is it a new product area for the timber trade? I mean, how long has Arclin been making these overlays aimed at the construction industry, specifically the timber industry?
Oh, well in excess of 40 years, and we're well established in North America. We have 2 production facilities for the Arctec line in North America, and a third that we use it's for a similar product line. So we have several facilities that make resin and chemicals in the U.S. We're involved in the pharmaceutical industry as well. So a very large company, but we're focused on the EBS group, which is the group that I represent.
Yeah. And is there much competition in this field, or are these the Arclin Arctec technology products? Are they kind of unique in the field? Would you say is that a fair description?
Well, I tell you that there are indeed other overlay manufacturers in the market, but Arclin and Arctec specifically stand out due to advanced performance, our factory-applied consistency, sustainability, cost efficiencies. We scale the business, and that's what gives us a real advantage.
And I guess the other thing is, and apologies if I'm sort of speaking in any way down, I don't mean like that, but you guys, to you, timber frame construction is so normal. And here in the UK, it's not the main use of construction, apart from in Scotland, where around 90% of new build is timber frame. But as a total mix in the UK market, I guess we're at what, Mike, about 25%?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So only 1 in 4 houses here is currently timber frame, but that's growing at quite a rate, that percentage share. So you guys will know a lot more about the whole procedure and methods and how to get the best out of these products, I would guess.
Absolutely.
And as far as I understand it, products like Guard and Beton have been in the European market a while, if I understand correctly. But now Arclin is pushing the Arclin name more in Europe. Is that correct?
That is correct. Paul, would you like to speak to that? I don't want to monopolize the conversation.
No, it's fine. I kind of think actually we've just forgotten maybe to make it quite clear about the type of wood products that our surfaces are designed for, and our real target markets are wood panels. So familiarity with plywood, OSB-oriented strand board, medium-density fibre board, and other fibre boards. So that's really our target market for these products.
Yes.
Some of these products are legacy products that we've had in the market for many years, and things like surfaces for shuttering plywood. So that's the customers that we have.
Yeah, but I think the thing Mike was mentioning there that we're trying to sort of understand is that Arclin, if you like, has been working behind the scenes perhaps before, and now you want to come out into the open in your own name and style and use that reputation you've worked so hard to build in the States?
I think that's always a challenge with component manufacturers we are just a component of a finished product. It's always a challenge, but as we continue to innovate and expand our business, that's the reason that we're becoming more focused on our marketing of our products.
Yes. Yeah.
And is there any reason why you're raising the profile of the Arclin name in the European market now? Is there any sort of particular factor behind that now is the time you're doing this?
We're expanding our business.
Yeah.
We are. I wouldn't say we're saturated in North America, but our focus is outside of North America to grow our business.
Yeah. I'm itching to get into these products as well because particularly when we get to Dryshell, but. Perhaps could we just have a look at maybe which one should we go for first, Mike?
Yeah, I think should we look at Beton first,
Yes.
if I'm pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah.
It's billed as protecting plywood for sort of shuttering plywood to deliver a better quality finish to the concrete. Can you expand on that and what its value is to the marketplace?
Sure. There's three basic products that are composed of this market. You've got a PSF, you've got an MDO, and you've got an HDO. All of the finish depends on the product that's specified. It's specified by the architect. We offer the full range of products to cover all of those. An MDO will give you a matte finish. You can paint it. You can things. It's generally exposed concrete, like in a parking garage or something like that. That's generally an MDO application. An HDO is an architectural finish. It's generally got a little more pizzazz to it once it's finished. It may be on the front of a building. It may have relief pressed into it or something. It's a prettier form of concrete. And then the PSF will yield a mirror finish. You can't paint it. It's a very, very high gloss. Think about your garage where they would float the concrete in your garage and make it they bring the cream to the top, make it super shiny. Yeah. That would be the PSF finish. Right. And we offer all of those products into the market. Our legacy product that's extremely well known in the UK is referenced as 323. We've been selling that product into Eastern Europe and others for more than 30 years. Wow. On small bits and pieces. And that is the product. If you walk into jobs in the UK and they say, I'm using concrete form, 7 out of 10 guys call it 323. So our product has become kind of like a Xerox name. We're coming out from behind the shell to show 323 is us, not anybody else. It's us. And this is why you want to partner with us. So it's the whole technical support, the product development, and it's an exciting time to be in this industry.
I completely get that. I mean, I've heard of 323 because of the other work that I do, and I never knew that it came from you guys. It's exactly what you've just said. It's a sort of almost a generic name. It's like a Hoover or something like that. Yeah.
And the Beton brand, is that how it's now going to be sold and marketed?
We're going to sell it under the Beton will be it'll be the umbrella, and then different products will hang off of that. But 323, 323 G2, concrete, HDOs, MDOs, PSFs, they'll all hang off of the Beton umbrella.
Yeah.
Right.
And do you see great sort of growth potential? I mean, with a sort of maybe an additional marketing push and promotion, you see good growth prospects in the market?
I think Paul would agree with the statement. It's through innovation. The market is going to be what it's economically allowed to be, but through innovation and what we're doing with some of our other products, we will expand and take more of that market share. The product is historically 323 is made for applications on a plywood substrate. We're working to modify some of that for some OSB manufacturers that may be interested in the product. It'll be a slightly different product, but the resin system is the integral part of it. It's where the technology lies. So, there's a lot of growth and opportunity in that market for Arclin.
All right. Yeah. Is your customer, just to clarify in my own head, is the customer the wood-based panel, the plywood manufacturer, or are you going instead or in addition to kind of panel processing businesses? How does that work?
No.
It would be the panel process, the original manufacturers of the OSB or plywood, and that's where we've kind of hidden behind things in the past because everybody wants to market it as their own brand name from a given manufacturer.
So I guess part of the work you're doing is to partner up with a European-based panel products manufacturer to bring your finished product to market under your own brand name.
Well, 323 has been around for a long time, so all of the key players in Scandinavia, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, all know about this product. Yes. I think some of the things that we do for some of these manufacturers is that because of the chemistry-based business that we do make changes. So the slight differences for each, we will custom make surfaces and overlays specific to a manufacturer's needs because of the nuances and differences in veneers, in adhesive systems and applications. And so we make things specifically for plywood manufacturers across Europe and beyond.
Yeah. So, should we hear about Guard, or have you?
Yeah, I just had one more question about Beton. Is it how is the sort of what's been the sort of market response to your kind of new market strategy and drive in Europe? Is it sort of borne any early fruit yet?
Yeah.
Has it been positive?
Absolutely. And we started actually developing this 4 years ago, and I kind of believe we actually met you there. But,
yes.
Capa de Bois.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's where we first met.
Yeah. We did that in 4 years ago. We absolutely loved that trade event, and then we did it again last year. The response, I mean, certainly from our point of view, it's the number one wood-based fair to be at. The inquiries and feedback and everything from that show that we got, we're still feeding off it now. So it's something that's we've seen great impact.
Yeah, it's a very. I mean, I think that show makes such an impact because it's so timber focused, isn't it? It's 100% timber and nothing else, sort of thing.
Yeah. So moving on to Guard, let's hear about Guard. What's the background on that one?
Yeah, I've read on your website it's designed for protecting and priming wood-based panels for exterior applications for subsequent painting. Is that a sort of fair summary?
Yeah, and some of the applications that we're kind of familiar with in this country, again, in Europe, we have these surfaces applied to plywood, where it's used in fascia systems, siding systems. They're applied directly to plywood and then painted afterwards. So the Dutch and the Benelux market use these types of products. Door systems as well, exterior doors, again, very popular type of surface to use on exterior doors. Also, on-site protection as well, hoarding systems that you see around big construction sites. It's a perfect surface to go on to OSB or plywood to, enhance the surface and, make it durable and moisture resistant.
Yeah.
Just me. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my head around this a little bit. If we go back to Beton and then Guard again, is one a sort of more of an end use interior and one exterior, or is that not the case? It seems to be the way you're describing them.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, I think. They are two completely separate categories, but ultimately, lots of the Guard products, we put a primer on the surface, and so it's expected to be painted.
Yes.
The Beton products, you wouldn't ordinarily paint them. They are for industrial concrete applications, as opposed to Guard, which is going to have some secondary operation on top of it, usually spray painted or painted on top of it to finish it.
Yeah.
Got you. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
And apologies for my rather stupid question. That's a lot better.
Yeah. And the actual, talking about durability of the product, does it enhance the sort of durability of the painted finish and therefore require less maintenance and repeat painting and...
Sure, it's going to give you about it's a factory applied. Anything that's factory applied is superior to something we're going to do on a job site. Because the job site, it gets dirty, it gets wet, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
If it comes to you pre-primed, it's ready to go. You get and think about when you think about the different products, the Beton and the Guard. Think about the overlay system for Beton as being closed on the surface. It's engineered so moisture and paint and things don't bite into the surface. Yeah. It's made for concrete forming. The Guard is made for paint grade applications, so think about the surface as being open. It's made for paint or whatever you're putting on the surface to bite into the surface.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in the technologies.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really, really helpful. Thank you very much. Yeah, I get that.
And again, Guard, is that your target customer, again, is the panel producer, is that correct? Or...
For everything that we're doing, the panel producer is who we targeted. Yes,
yeah. And again, the Guard branding is that really new? Is that how the product's been sold for a while?
We sold we've sold it in North America for siding, for paint, for lots of different applications for 40 plus years. So it hangs under the Arctech umbrella, and it's one of those things that we're taking internationally. And we've been selling it internationally, so that's not really a great statement. But we want to expand the business and open up new markets for the product.
Yeah. And look, I mean, obviously we've been talking about Europe, but what about the UK specifically? Starting with Guard, how is the UK market showing promise?
Yeah, the UK market's great. We actually bought a company called TFS up in Warrington as part of. And TFS, part of their core business is secondary painting and applying a separate type of overlay we call Peel Clean, which we can talk about at a later date on an OSB substrate. So there's lots of opportunity. We think it's a great market. We've invested in the market. We've got a reload in Rotterdam. We're fully invested in this international push.
Yeah. Are we ready to get on to the one I'm really interested in, or I'm sort of like champing at the bit here?
I mean, I've written quite a bit about Arctech Dryshell and its merits and its benefits. It sounds like a very interesting product with a lot of potential.
Yeah, is Dryshell the newest product that you've got out of these three?
Yes. That's a fair statement.
Yeah, I guess that would be the case, because I know it's not revolutionary to yourselves, but from my relatively limited experience, but at the moment in the UK, I would suspect that we're very used to constructors using rolls of breather membrane, and that's as far as their technical knowledge really goes. Maybe I'm being a bit sort of rude about them, but I don't know. How do you feel about that? Is that where we're at in the UK market at the moment?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. Actually, not a lot of people. I think most of the people that we've engaged with, including some of the big named builders, they just weren't aware of the technology and the science.
Exactly.
So
I think that's where this is the most exciting development of all, because I can just see so many step changes and possibilities and opportunities that come out of this one product. It just seems like a standout opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's acknowledged by everybody we've spoken to. We've spoken to a lot of people, all kind of understand what they're looking at and the potential benefits, both from science perspective, building envelope perspective, construction. So it's acknowledged by everybody that this is something that they need to understand a lot more about.
Yeah. And my understanding is Dryshell does what these breather membranes do, combining protection from moisture and helping sort of protect the panel product on building sites, but also at the same time is breathable sort of vapor control membrane. At the same time, it combines all those functions in one overlay. Is that can you sort of expand on that a bit and tell us more about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's less emphasis on the vapour side of things, because obviously with the construction of a house in the United Kingdom, vapour's controlled obviously on the inner surface. Our product does allow any incidental vapour that gets into the building fabric. It does allow the product to breathe, but it presumably will be incidental vapour in the building fabric. So there's more emphasis obviously with this produced on the cold side of the wall construction, that it protects the building during construction, and obviously as a long-term moisture-resistant building envelope.
And presumably, I mean, being factory applied, you get a more reliable sort of uniform protection of the timber product than you could achieve with a site-fixed conventional membrane.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
It's a thermally fused product that's put on at the factory. So when it comes out, when you install it on the job, you've got instant protection. You have to tape the seams, and you nail the field, and it's just dry. You're protected. So
Yeah.
tape the seams, and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm sure you've got the data and you'll know, but my instinct is that in terms of the on-site construction time, you've got a huge saving in construction time by using this process.
For sure. For sure. But for me, the biggest thing with this product, like I said, it's thermally fused. And if you let a building sit for, let's say you let it sit for 90 days without putting anything on it. If you put up what's typically there, this is the next iteration of the mousetrap. If you take what's currently there and you staple it up, 60 days it gets windy and it blows and it tears where it's attached.
Yeah.
This product isn't going to do that.
Yeah.
It is the next evolution. This is the better mousetrap, and great bit of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sorry. We forgot to point out that this is 100% made for oriented strand board. So this is what this product is designed to be thermally fused to, either during the construction of the OSB or as a secondary process, heat fusion directly onto the surface of the OSB.
Yeah.
And you cannot miss this product if it's on a job site. It's bright orange. You cannot miss it. You can see it from you can see it driving down the freeway.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And that's
because,
on purpose.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that's another huge selling point, bonus of this, is that any building inspector can see whether the breather membrane is in place or not right throughout the building, because it's staring you literally in the face. You can't miss it, can you?
I couldn't miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I mean, another factor I understand that is playing in the favour of the overlay approach is that it's zero waste effectively, because these membranes have to be sort of trimmed to fit, and you're left with offcuts to dispose of. So is that another sort of selling point for Dryshell?
Yeah, there's no. Go ahead, Paul.
No. I was just going to say I acknowledge that it's more efficient, and obviously the work that we're doing with the laboratories and test studios, we're obviously going to prove that point as well. I think it's widely acknowledged from builders that there still is issues in the marketplace where moisture just breaks through.
Yeah.
Soft wrap OSB houses. It's something that if we think about how these timber frames are constructed, there actually is a line of bricks on the facade for the most, but there is still issues relating to wall cassettes with moisture getting through this resistant barrier. So we feel very, very positive about Dryshell being something that will eliminate that problem.
Yeah. In terms of cost, roughly speaking, if we don't take any account of the extra labour for the builder to fix the breather membrane in place, if we just take the price of the breather membrane itself compared to your product applied onto a panel, is there much difference in price? No,
it's very competitive and similar in the market. The thing is, it would go to, when you're buying your sheathing, it already has it applied. So the cost of the panel and the breather membrane that's one step that you're bringing in. So it may seem like depending on how you look at it, it may seem like it's more expensive to go buy your OSB with it on it, or you got to buy OSB and then buy them separate. But it's comparable.
But what you're doing is you're applying all of that. So the site team have got that's a huge labour saving element that you are taking away. So they're getting, I would guess, quite a significant cost saving by taking your product.
Absolutely. That's why it applies in North America. The product is hugely successful in North America. So yeah, you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah, I just can't see why you would not want to use this product. That's why I've been dying to ask you about it. It seems like a great product.
Yeah, my job is to go sell the product. But yeah, you're right. It's a fantastic product. The technology speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of we've got to get a couple of manufacturers big manufacturers in the EU making the product.
Yeah, and how is that going? I mean, because you're on a sort of bit of a campaign currently and approaching companies and meeting with them, talking to them. Are you getting sort of positive feedback?
Yeah, we've had commercial trials. All of the big players of OSB.
Oh, right.
Good.
I'd say this globally are looking at this science, and so yes, we've conducted commercial trials with all the big players. Some people are a little bit further along the road than others. We're very positive about the next 6 months that we'll start to see some products appearing in the marketplace for prototypes and trials with leading builders.
Yeah.
And if we take the UK, because we're not part of the EU, is your US certification instantly transferable? In other words, to use an expression, are you good to go with the product in the UK right now if you had a partner to bond it onto OSB?
Well, there's certainly aspects in certain parts of the market. If you think about, the timber frame structures, like it can be used in, garden pods or park homes or holiday homes, can be used exactly in the same principle. But if we're talking about, obviously, the residential market, we know that there has to be a high level of compliance, the Arclin certificate with the BBA. And it's the same throughout Europe. Whichever country we go to, we've worked on this in Australia and New Zealand, and we're very far down the line there with the compliance. And it's the same in France with, the CSTB, or, in the Netherlands with SKH. We're doing the types of compliances in each individual country.
Yeah, and I understand you've got British Board of Agreement certification sort of coming up this year. Is that right, or is the process is underway?
We're in the process. We have a team working on it. It's a very, very detailed initiative, attending to lots of things, testing, compliance. We're working on it. We're hoping to have that in place certainly by the end of the year.
All right, brilliant. And I mean, there is increasing sort of momentum in the timber frame industry generally, and even politicians getting behind it. In the UK, we've got the government timber construction roadmap. Do you think? I mean, would you go as far as saying that Dryshell could potentially sort of accelerate the sort of migration to timber frame in the UK and Europe?
I won't mention the builder in particular, but one of the major builders actually told us that he saw the science behind what we were doing as a fundamental cost-saving efficiency in their homes. And he wanted to understand the science of using this above anything else, because he believed that meeting some of the government standards, that this product would actually improve their product. So it's been acknowledged by a few people that they are really wanting us to dig deeper, do some comparisons with, soft wrapped moisture buildings versus the Dryshell product.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not, to be honest, I'm not surprised. I'm really pleased to hear that, because, the UK is on a mission to try and build these sort of 1.5 million homes. We all feel a little bit cynical about the ability of the UK government to push this through. But whatever way we want to look at it, we're going to build a lot more homes than we were building. And if anything we can do to get timber frame more entrenched into that market at a time of growth is fantastic news for all of us who are involved and invested in timber. So, I think it's a great product. I was really impressed when Mike first mentioned about this. So I've been really looking forward to hearing all about it. I think we're sort of getting towards the point we're going to have to draw to a close, Mike. But
I just wanted to ask about where the sort of broadly where the future lies specifically for Arclin overlay products for the construction industry, and specifically for timbering products in construction. Are there any sort of projects or developments in the pipeline that you can kind of hint at, or give us a few clues where we're headed next?
I'd be glad to. You'll continue to see our business in Europe and North America grow, as well as Asia Pacific and Latin America and different markets. Yeah. Our innovative product development stuff is what you're hinting at.
Yes.
We have a new innovation, hanging under the baton. We're going to call it MDO-X, HDO-X. It's a new type of concrete forming that we're really excited about.
Right.
We've got the Dryshell that we're really excited about.
Yeah.
We've got a great product. It's really exciting for fire management.
Yeah.
It's called FirePoint. So we've got some really, really exciting, innovative products coming out, and they're all on. If you go to the Arclin family website, everything is listed under there. You can also go to the FirePoint website, FirePoint by Arclin, or you can go to our European website, which is Arctech. So yeah, it's exciting stuff, guys. We got some really cool stuff, and I'm sure we'll be back talking about FirePoint and the MDO-X products.
Obviously, be welcome back to talk about more future developments. I think that'd be very interesting.
I mean, fire. We haven't time to get into that today. I think we wanted to really focus on Dryshell in particular, but it would be great to have you back on to talk about the fire products, because, as you know, in the UK, we've had some absolutely terrible issues around fire, none of which are timber product related, but it is a big issue here in the UK. Yeah, it's a hugely important topic, so that would be a great one to come back and have another talk about, if we could, please. We'd really welcome that.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah, we have a whole growth and innovation team that's working on these different items. So I'll probably bring back some of the guys that are on that team and let them talk about the fire products in particular. But yeah, this has been great, and would love to have an opportunity to share more data about stuff with you guys moving forward.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks very much for your time. It's been very interesting, and I'm sure there's much more to say about all the products we've been discussing today. We've just got our time constraints. But
yeah, sorry that we're limited a bit by time.
But it's been great. Thanks very much for sparing your time.
Yeah, really grateful.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I thought it was fascinating. I
really enjoyed that.
I think quite like you. I mean, when I first heard about Arctech Dryshell, I thought, that's an obvious product.
It is. I mean, you told me about it. I had no awareness of it. And when you first described it, I was wondering whether this was some form of spray-on product or something. And I was thinking, I'm not sure quite how this is going to work. But as soon as the guys came on the podcast and they tell us how it just seems... It just is an absolute, what do we say in Britain, a no-brainer.
Yeah, logical captain.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really, really good. I think that product's going to fly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when we were talking earlier, and I got in a bit of a muddle, but we're talking about things for formwork and others. Of course, there's a big market out there for all of those products. But out of everything that they talked about, I suspect we're going to hear a lot about Dryshell.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. No, I think other products are interesting as well. I came across those. We were Paul was saying we met at the Carrefour du Bois in France. Brilliant, as he said, brilliant show. And they struck a chord too, I think. And as they said, it's getting increasing interest and sort of traction in Europe.
We've got to talk to them about fire.
Yes,
we need to get them back, because as we go taller and taller and timber frame construction, fire obviously is something that's going to be inherently important. But I think that's another podcast to come.
Coming. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.